This is the Will Podcast.
Hi guys, welcome back to The Wheel. Today's podcast is brought to you by Cooper Brothers Clothing, the ultimate gentleman's store. They specialise in tailored suits, ties, bow ties and offer the ultimate gentleman's experience with their combined barbershop. To visit their store, head to the Castle Hill Towers Mall and they are located on level 2. For a limited time only, Cooper Brothers are offering 20% off all inline and in-store purchases. Online code is The Wheel and in-store, if you mention the podcast, you will receive a 20% off discount. Welcome to the podcast. This is episode number 7. We are very excited to bring you this episode. Today's episode, the sporting topic is the NRL. And fortunately for myself, I have the help of 3 friends. I have the returning Brendan Burbo, Wayne Denham, and the new Mitch March. How are we, gentlemen?
Good, mate. Good.
Good to be here, mate. Good to be here again.
Big Mitch has been in the waiting for a couple of weeks. It's good to have you, mate.
On the back burners for a little while, but it's all good.
So what we'll do, we'll have a quick review of State of Origin Game 2, which was 2.5 weeks ago. Then we will preview Game 3, which is in two nights' time. We'll move on to Shoot Your Shot, Brendan's favourite segment. So for this week, Shoot Your Shot, it'll be an open floor discussion on who is the greatest player you have ever seen and why. The next segment will bring back One Gotta Go. So for One Gotta Go this week, I haven't exactly told the lads what it is, but it's quite hefty with context. So hopefully it's a good one. So we'll actually be doing 2 of them. So it'll be based on teams and then individual players. So once we do One Gotta Go, we will move on to the roundup. Roundup question for today is, after Origin is finished, who gets selected for Australia? So each panel member will pick a team based on current form, and just keep in mind allegiances and sides that they play. So left side, right side, things like that. So Origin 2, gentlemen, obviously New South Wales won 18-14, so they've won the series 2-0. The game was played on a Sunday, which was different to the normal fixture. And Boyd Cordner, captain for New South Wales, was man of the match. What was our thoughts? Actually, I'll ask the 2 New South Walesmen first. What were your thoughts on the games?
Never in doubt, mate.
Never in doubt?
Nah.
You weren't worried?
I was very worried. I think Caleb Ponga is going to be a superstar. Like, obviously he came on and split the line. I don't know what minute it was, 60-something minute. Split the line, made a run. Just his touches, like, he's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I'm going to be scared to watch him play against us in the coming years.
Yep. Mitchie, what do you think about it?
That was a good win. I think it's the first time in probably 4 or 5 years that we've actually seemed to have played an 80-minute performance.
Yep.
I think when we got down to 12 players, I think everyone expected New South Wales to pack it in, and they didn't. They held strong. I think that was good. I think Billy Slater and Ponga together were a massive difference.
Yeah.
And Queensland's backs were all over ours. We held it strong in the middle. Their forwards went missing. I think that's what ultimately cost them the game.
Yep, and I will lead straight on to Wayne, because Wayne's called out a few of the Queensland forwards. What was your thoughts on that? I think he's 100% right. I think our forwards are weak.
Yeah, all our forwards, they didn't show any kind of get-go. You see all those articles about Jared Wallace coming out and wanting to fire, but didn't do anything.
Yep.
Dylan Napa, I kind of think he's playing on an injury. Don't really want to make any excuses for him, but it comes to Origin.
I wonder why you're making excuses. What jersey do you have?
But when it comes to Origin, you need to be coming into that field and going hard, and the forwards just weren't showing that. There were a bit of promise when we started putting some points on the board. Kind of thought, oh yeah, we might have a chance here, but then one by one we just kept falling short. And then you just think with James Roberts coming off, we'd have a bit more of a go, and nothing really happened. So, give it to the New South Wales players. They did well, and we had no answer.
For me, I thought the ebb and flow was kind of like what's been happening in the last 5 years, where New South Wales have probably played better than Queensland, but Queensland obviously won the series. I thought Queensland played better than New South Wales. They just didn't do the Origin things, which is what New South Wales did, and that's why they won. And that's why I think Cordner got man of the match, because he played like a captain should. Any other thoughts on Game 2?
I think it was good.
It was always going to happen.
Well, it was
We've said it in every single podcast.
I think the Latrell Mitchell Chambers thing was a good thing. I think Will Chambers needed a bit of humbling. Like, he really was not contested for anything, and Latrell Mitchell has come on and put it on him. And now it's kind
not
of...
in that game in particular.
I just think first game and all that. I think Chambers came back and did a little bit better, but I feel that if it was a battle between them two, I think Latrell Mitchell had it over him.
Yeah, in the series, 100%. Yeah, he's been all over.
But it gives him a bit of reality check, especially coming into the Australian. Like, if he wants to play for Australia again, there's someone there that's going to be challenging him for that position.
Is there an issue with his side though? Because it shows the left side, Chambers is the right side. Is that a problem in this
I think
this day and era?
boots colour, to be honest.
Yes, yes. Oh,
Well, it's horrible.
so
mate.
I've had this theory going for about 3 years where if Chambers wears black boots, he always plays terrible, and in Origin 2 he wore white boots. So I said he's going to play well. Didn't play great, but he played better than he did game one.
First game.
Except
Turned up.
that kick, he turned up not like he did in game one.
Don't mention any kind of kicking in that game, please.
But Ben Hunt, what do we think about him, gentlemen? He's great from a New South Wales fan. He's loving it.
I think you should pick him every year, to be honest.
Do you reckon he just can't handle pressure? Well, that's 2 for 2. Yeah, 2 for 2. 2 for 2, he's choked under pressure.
And the first game back from Dragons, he had a shocker too.
So he just can't handle it, you reckon? He doesn't like the limelight? Well, I think Munster seems to love it, and it doesn't help when you're...
thrived, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't matter when you're halfback.
I seem to think that they're still trying to play Queensland footy with
Different players.
Thurston,
Yeah.
Smith, Cronk all gone, and it's not going to work.
Yeah.
I think if Hunt keeps getting picked at 7, or at the moment it's Cherry Evans, that this is their opportunity, the same as New South Wales, to start a new version of Queensland and move forward. Forget the past, they're gone, they're not coming back.
Would you, as a New South Wales fan, who scares you more? I'll ask both of you, Brendan and Mitch. Who scares you more, Cherry Evans or Ash Taylor?
Maybe Cherry Evans. I mean, just for the experience.
Yeah, I was probably thinking the same thing.
I mean, it's
Ash
crazy.
Taylor doesn't look like he loves a bit of pressure too. He's struggling.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy to see Queensland backflip because like DCE was like 10th in line. Like he was like they did not rate him.
He wouldn't have made a resident side in
No.
game 2, and he's starting halfback in game 3.
Exactly. So
Do you think the way he plays will suit Munster?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think definitely. I think they actually complement each other quite well.
Yeah.
I don't know. But we'll roll on. So we'll roll on to game 3. We'll preview game 3.
Yeah.
So game 3 is this Wednesday, the 11th of July. The kickoff will be at 8 p.m. So it's being played up in Queensland and Suncorp, and apparently I saw Jimmy Maloney's little stab at the Queensland supporters. So it's not sold out, nowhere near sold out. So he was questioning their loyalty, which is fair dig.
Happens.
I mean, when they're winning,
years.
when they're winning, they pack it out, and now they've lost. What are you going to do?
If you count all their heads, they've sold out.
Yeah. But what we'll do, I'll go over the lineups and then we'll talk all things game 3. So Queensland, we've got a new captain in Billy Slater at fullback. On the wings, we've got a new winger, Corey Oates and Val Holmes. In the centres, Dane Gagai shifts from right wing to left centre, and Will Chambers is in right centre. In the halves, we've got Cam Munster and obviously the new halfback in Daly Cherry Evans. Front row, we've got 2 new starting props, Jai Arrow, Andrew McCulloch at hooker, and Josh Papali'i at the other prop. Second row and back row, we've got the same back row, so Felice Kafusi, Gavin Cooper and Josh Maguire. On the bench, we've got dropped halfback Ben Hunt as interchange, and on the bench we've got Cohen Hess, Wallace and Tim Glasby, and their coach is Kevin Walters. For the winning state, New South Wales, it's pretty much the same lineup. James Tedesco at fullback. On the wing, we've got Tom Trebojevic and Josh Adokar. In the centres, Latrell Mitchell and James Roberts. In the halves, James Maloney and Nathan Cleary. Paul Vaughan, Damien Cook and David Clemmer make up the front row. And in the second row, we've got Captain Boyd Cordner with Tyson Frizzell and Jack DeBellin at lock. In the interchange bench, we have one change. We've got Tarek Sims comes in for the injured Reagan Campbell-Gillard. Jake Trebojevic, Angus Crichton and Tyrone Peachy come on to complete that bench, and they're coached by Brad Footler. So guys, going off those lineups, I mean, New South Wales pretty much has the same team. Are we expecting a different thing from Queensland, with a different front row, different halfback, different winger?
I think that Queensland have picked the team they should have picked in game 1.
Yeah?
I think.
So you thought they should always pick Cherry Evans?
I think they should have picked Cherry Evans over Hunt. I think Hunt off the bench over Morgan in game 1 would have been ideal. Morgan's form was terrible.
Yep.
And to be honest, GI was an emotional pick, I think. I think there's no way in the world he was the form centre for them. I know he played well in game 1, but if you were picking a side on form, he wouldn't have made it. And Corey Oates is by far their form winger, and should have been in the team from day dot as well. So I think they've actually
What about the props?
injury.
What about the props?
I think Jairo moving onto the starting side is a good idea.
Yeah, he's got the work rate.
I agree.
He's an 80-minute player every weekend.
Yeah, he's
His
got the
work
work
rate is
rate.
really high.
I'm worried about Papali'i because he's lazy.
He can drift in and out of the game.
Yeah, 10
But I
minutes.
still think it's a better starting squad than Napa and Wallace.
Yep.
Well, I think as well, like watching the past 2 games when Jairo has come on, I feel like he's come on and done a bit more, showed physicality to it, where Jared Wallace and all that come in and a couple of tackles here and don't really get the ball too much, where Jairo goes looking for something to do.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be something that's going to be good for the actual squad.
Yeah, Jairo's got the work rate. I'm not too worried about him. I was probably more worried about Papali'i. But on the New South Wales front, there's nothing else you can really say. Say if Boyd Cordner doesn't play, Tarek Sims goes in. They're saying Ryan James will go in. Happy with that? New South Wales.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm shocked as to why we picked Matt Pryor in game 2 when we're doing this in game 3.
Yeah.
I think everyone expected Tarek Sims to come in
Yeah,
and
straight away.
Hawthorn to push off the bench into the front row.
Yeah.
And I can't say Matt Pryor had a bad game in game 1, so I'm a bit perplexed as to why they've done what they have. But
As a Sharky, I'm confused with that, definitely. I
You
mean,
reckon
why
they
bring
should
him in if he
Yeah,
didn't
just
have a
gonna
bad
drop
game?
him. Yeah.
He did all the basics and then had an alright
Probably
game,
what
so-
they thought he was going to do anyway.
Yeah.
Just do just what he would have
did
needed
exactly
to do.
what they wanted him to
Well,
do.
he does. Let's say so. He did what Jared Wallace and Napa done, probably better in the first 2 games, and he got dropped.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand. And then Ryan James deserves it, but
Oh, 100%.
why would you drop someone who won game 2 for you?
Yeah.
It's really weird. But I mean, it's working.
Yeah, well, we got the win, so...
And okay, we'll move on to prediction. I was going to say we'll move on to prediction. No, I was going to say move on to prediction because I think they're going to win game 3 as well. So saying like with the team changes, it's a bit weird that it didn't pick Pryor, but they still win. So I'll go my predictions. I got New South Wales winning 24-12, and my man of the match is James Maloney. I think if Corner doesn't play, then he will take over the game.
Yep.
But if he does, then he'll just play that kind of sidekick role and he'll do it good. Brendan, what's your man of the match and result?
I think the Blues will win again. I think Queensland will show a bit of heart, but I think it's going to be like previous years the Blues were, where they had a decent team, but they just couldn't get over the line.
Yeah.
I think we're going to win 8 to 10 points.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
And I've got Cook being man of the match. I think Cook against McCulley, he's going to dominate, and he's going to dominate his tied forwards, and yeah.
Good call. Wayno, who's your man of the match prediction and result?
So I went Boyd Cordner again. Choose the skipper to go through with it, to bring it home not bring it home, but just finish up the series with another win. I think it's going to be pumping, to be honest. I think it's going to be 28-12 New South Wales way. As much as it hurts to say that, I just think they're going to come out firing. I think they're all going to be just aiming up at Daly Cherry Evans, and he's got something to prove, so he may or may not overplay his hand. So we'll see how things go, but I just think it's going to be a pumping.
And Marchie, what do you got?
I want to say Cook and I want to say New South Wales by 20, but I feel like we're going to get our pants pulled down around our ankles up there at Suncorp.
You reckon?
And I'm going to tip Queensland by 1 with Daly Cherry Evans to step up and steal the show.
Imagine that. Ben Hunt would never get picked ever again.
I was thinking Queensland, but
Yeah. There's got to be something there. I think they'll be a very different side to what we've seen in game 1 and game 2.
Yep.
And I think they'll play with more freedom than what we will. I think the pressure is now on us for the clean sweep, and they'll go out and play free footy.
It's been so in the whole 8 years where Queensland won, they only had 1 sweep, so it's pretty hard to sweep someone.
yeah. So I think Blues will have 4 sweeps if they sweep this. I think 4.
I think they get around, but I do understand what Mitch is saying. It could happen.
I hope it happens.
I hope it happens, but what's the point?
There's a definite chance it can happen.
Yeah,
but it's
100%. So the big thing there was obviously Slater's captaining, and he'll be retiring after this. But Wayne, on a side question, I don't rate Kevin Walters as a coach at all. I don't think he knows what he's doing. I think he's terrible. His selections were bad, as Mitch was saying. If they lose this game, so if they get swept, does he get moved on, and who comes in?
I don't think they'll move him on. I reckon they'll give him another chance.
Bit of loyalty, I think.
They've been bragging about loyalty for how many
Stick and
years?
pick, boys. Come on.
So, but I don't think they're going to get rid of him. I reckon he'll stay for 1 more year, and if he gets any worse, then maybe next year they'll look at replacing him. As to who will replace him, maybe Hagan. Is he still in there?
Yeah, I'm thinking Hagan or Neil Henry's still. He's trying to be a commentator. He's terrible. He's monotone. He's terrible. He's monotone as. So I'm thinking maybe Neil Henry or
Roach.
yeah. They should do a tandem. Blockers should come over and do like a dream team coaching.
I think coaches at this level's overrated apart from selection. I don't think you can really sit back and say Mal Meninga's a great coach when you look at that side.
And the team he had,
Paul Langmack could have coached that
yeah,
side
100%,
to 12 wins in 13 years.
I agree. I think he got more praise than he probably
Jason
should
Taylor
have.
could have got a win without.
Yeah, 100%. He was. I understand. I think Mal Meninga got way too much praise considering who he had on his side. But that's Origin 3, the roundup. So we've all got a man of the match and we've all picked a result. So what we'll do is we'll move on to Shoot Your Shot.
Shoot the J. Shoot it!
For today's Shoot Your Shot, the question is, who is the greatest player you've ever seen and why? So this is open floor. What I'll do, I'll start with Wayne and we'll go clockwise. Give me and what we'll do, we'll let everyone have a spiel for maybe a couple of minutes and say why their player's the greatest. And then if you want to come in, just go in and just go to town on the other person. So Wayne, shoot your shot, brother. Who is the greatest player you've ever seen and why? Give me some stats. Give me what you want.
I really don't have any stats, mate. This is just pure opinion. I can't go past Jonathan Thurston, to be honest. Love the guy. There's a couple of times I do feel like he's been carried, but I reckon what he's done for that North Queensland team, he's come up and done so much. He's just an ultimate player, ultimate athlete, competitor. He got that fluky grand final win with the Doggies, I'll give him that. But besides that, he won that grand final fair and square. Don't hate him like High March does, but I think he's the greatest player.
So I'm not even going to try and come at you because you had no stats
That's
to
the
back
reason
that
I
up.
play smart.
Mitchie, who's the greatest player you've ever seen and why?
I'm going with the Novocastrian Joey Johns.
Yes.
Look, I don't think you can doubt the effect he had in every single team he played in.
Yep.
You still see highlights about, I believe it's the 2005 Origin series, where all the players talk about going down in game 1 and then him joining the training session in game 2 and just absolutely killing it, changing the whole mentality and the feel of the side.
Yep.
Out of all the players that you sort of talk about in this conversation, John, Smith, Thurston, Lockyer, if you throw him in there as well, I think he's the first person out of all of them to really play in a team that was not that great.
You mean the Newcastle team?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without him in it.
Yeah.
You take him out of that team pretty much every year and they're a bottom 4 side.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thurston, probably when he first started at the Cowboys, probably had that for a while.
Yeah, and then they built it.
But, I mean, Smith gets out of the equation for me because of the team that he's been in and the structure.
Yeah.
Yep.
And probably the same with Lockyer. Lockyer falls out of contention because he was a part of the Broncos team that was the best for almost 10 years. So, 249 games, 3 seasons short, plus 1.5 seasons full of injury.
Yeah.
I think had he played another 50 to 70 games, he blows everyone out of the park without doubt.
Yeah.
I'm really upset that he had to finish prematurely. I would have loved to have seen him hit a 300. He deserves it. But yeah, I like that. I can't really argue with that. So I'll go with mine. So mine's Cam Smith.
Typical.
No, I literally can't. Well, I can't see how you can go anyone else, in my opinion. So here's what he's done. So 373 first grade games, it's a record. 42 Origins, that's a record. 56 Tests for Australia, that's second to Lockie. 2 Dally M's, 2 Golden Boots. So last year, I read an article halfway through last year, and I said, if he can win the Origin, the Premiership, the World Cup, the Dally M, and the Club Churchill, that's it. He's done it all. The only one he missed out of all of that was Club Churchill, and he got the Golden Boot. So he did that all at 34, so I can't. He makes 30 plus tackles a game, kicks goals, he's durable, always backs up after Origin. I think Joey Johns had more talent, but he's smarter than Joey Johns with controlling the ruck.
No.
But Joey Johns had more talent. Yeah,
I'd almost go, I think he's probably a better leader.
yeah, he's
Andrew
way
Johns.
better leader than Andrew Johns.
And I don't think anyone's had a better football brain than Andrew Johns.
Yeah.
I'll keep doing mine and then we'll chat. So I've got, I'm open to it. He's got obviously 2 premierships. He should have 4, but someone rigged the books. 2 World Cups as captain, 11 out of 15 Origin series. He's the greatest for me, and he's still going. If he plays on to 2020 like he's rumoured to, he'll hit 400 games. Could win another Dally M, maybe, and he could win another premiership. So Cam Smith is my pick. Brendan?
Yeah, I'll go with the greatest of all time, Joey Johns.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much what Mitch said. Like, he's unlucky to not get his 300. Roll some stats out for you. He played 23 Origin matches. He captained to a winning side in 05, which is probably the best performance I've ever seen in Origin ever.
Game 2?
Yeah.
Scary. Scary good.
Killed it.
Yeah.
He represented 2 World Cups, Kangaroo Tour, 21 tests. He's a good partier. He's known for his party. Would have loved to party with the bloke back in the day. He got voted Rugby League Week's greatest player of the last 30 years in 08. And yeah, I just watching him as a kid, like the banana kicks, the 97 grand final when I'm not even a Knights supporter yet. I was on my seat jumping up and down and watching that. I don't remember a player who's ever made me like get up and celebrate for like an opposition's player than the Sharks, if you know what I mean. Like he had it all. Like every time he played, I wanted to watch him, and I'm a Shark supporter.
Yeah.
And it was just things he would do. I've never seen anyone do that before him. And
so you know what I think everyone forgets about Joey Johns? He was a mean tackler.
Oh yeah.
He was a
and
mad defender. Everyone
yeah.
forgets how good he was on defence, which is why I'm going against Wayne's pick, because Joey John can tackle. Thurston can't.
Which is why, again, I don't understand why they didn't run into him when he had a sore arm in Origin.
Oh, yeah. Well, who was the one who called him out? Joey Johns. He was the one smart enough to say, why were they running at Thurston when he had a bung arm? See, for me, it's Cam or Joey for me, and I said that earlier. I didn't watch Wally Lewis growing up, so I can't really say it was Wally Lewis. Yeah. It's either Joey Johns or Cam for me, and that's it.
I think Joey's a more complete footballer.
Yeah.
I think defensively, as much as Cameron Smith can tackle, he didn't hit like Joey.
No.
And then in terms of his presence and threat to run into the line, I don't think Cam Smith has that either.
Yeah, but
Cam Smith's probably got the same vision as he does.
Yeah, but Cam Smith's threat in the ruck is scarier than Joey's, where he can control it.
Different position.
Yeah, but even say if you put, I know it wasn't his preferred position, but when he was at hooker, he wasn't as good as Cam.
True.
But like I said, they're 1 and 2 for me. But Thurston, I can't.
Player, but
great player.
I can't put him up there with.
So in 2015, when they won the grand final, I said he's the GOAT by far, and I go back on that comment massively because he's just falling massively for me.
Yeah,
I can't.
I like Cameron Smith. I think
it's one of those two.
A lot of people hate him. A lot of people hate him.
But you remember you made a comment last year when the World Cup. Take out Cronker Slater, Australia can still win the World Cup.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Take out Cam, they probably don't.
Yeah.
I think it comes that for me, Cam Smith will probably be the most successful player ever.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone will ever get close to him, but Andrew Johns is the best that I've seen.
Yep. You know what's funny? All three of us are going at it, and Big Wayne's just sitting there.
I'm bobbing on the chin,
no
mate.
stats. No stats. No nothing.
Where's your preparation?
No preparation. No preparation, no nothing.
Mate.
Copping on the chin.
Back to the bench, mate.
Oh.
But I will say that game 2 in 05 was probably the best performance I've ever seen by a player.
Yeah.
Easy, hands down. And that was an Origin, man.
He's one of those players where you have him in the team and you always think he can win.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how many points you're behind, apart from when the Sharks beat him 64-10. But apart from that, he was a good player.
I like your research today, mate. You're on fire, Burbo. So we'll do a little recap. Wayno, you were going JT. Mitch and Brennan are going Joey, who's an immortal already, deservedly so. I was there the night he got immortalised.
The 8th.
I was there, 2012 grand final. And I'm going Cam Smith. So that was our roundup for Shoot Your Shot. So now, boys, the big one.
It's time for one gotta go.
So Super League finished in 1997, which was when Newey won. You guys won in 97?
97.
So from 98 to present day, so that's 20 years. So there's been 20 Premiership teams. What I've done is I've put the best 4 Premiership teams in a category. What you guys have to do is pick that one that has to go. So there's a lot of technical things here. So I went based off record, I went off margin wins, stuff like that. So it took me a long time to kind of figure this out. So what I'll do, I'll read out the teams, I'll let you guys think about it, and then I'll kind of do a brief overview of the teams. So it might surprise you who the top 4 teams were. First option is the 1998 Broncos team. Second option is the 2004 Bulldogs team. Third option, Wayne's about to smile, 2013 Chookies. And the fourth option, I'm going to do a big smile and I'll back this up, 2017 Storm team. So what I'll do is I'll go over why these 4 teams were picked. So if anyone remembers the Penrith 2003 team, you guys remember them?
No.
Remember they came to our school?
A lot of buzz.
They came to our school.
They came to our
And
school.
I was mocking Scott Sattler. I said, never heard of you, mate.
A lot of
You're
buzz out
rubbish.
west.
I refuse to remember that year.
Reece West on
And
that.
old
I
mate,
remember that
old mate
team.
gets a grand final.
Yeah.
Grand final moment. So what Penrith 2003 team and the Manly 2011 side, they have the exact same record as the 2013 Chookies, which was 18-6. So the only reason the Chookies are there is because the Manly 2011 side weren't minor premiers, and the Penrith 2003 side, their grand final margin was smaller than the 2013 Chookies side. So that's why the Chookies are over those three. The other three teams had way better records, and believe it or not, the best record from a regular season team was last year's Melbourne Storm side, 20 wins, 4 losses. So I had to cancel out 2 sides because of salary cap. So the 2002 Bulldogs side. So you Wayne will remember that. You guys pretty much were the beneficiary of that. So they were 20. They got 20 wins and 3 losses and 1 draw. So they were a good team. And then the 2007 Storm side, they had the best ever season record in the modern era, 21 wins, 3 losses. But they rolled at the cap. The 2002 Bulldogs and 07 Storm were out. The 2000 Brisbane team had the same record as 2013 Chookies team, but because there's already a Brisbane side that had a better record, I've gone with the Chookies. Fair?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll read out the team, the grand final side for each squad, and you guys have got to pick one team that has to go. So 1998 Broncos, they beat the Bulldogs 38-12. They finished minor premiers with a record of 18 wins, 5 losses, 1 draw. Here is the team. Fullback, Darren Lockyer. Wingers, Michael DeVere, Wendell Saylor. Centre, Steve Ranoff and Darren Smith. In the halves, Kevin Walters, Alfie Langer. Front row, Shane Webke, Philip Lee, Andrew G. The back row, bad back row, Gordon Tallis, Brad Thorne, Tony Carroll. On the interchange, Michael Hancock, John Plath, Kevin Campion, and believe this, Petrol 7 cents a litre was on the bench. Jeez. That's the 1998 Broncos team. 2004 Bulldogs, I think all of us remember that team. They were stacked. They beat the Chookies 16-3. They finished second, and they eventually beat the minor premiers, who was the Chooks. Their record was 19 wins, 5 losses. Have a listen to this lineup. Fullback, Luke Patton. Wingers, Hazem El Masri, Matt Utai. Centres, Ben Harris, Willie Tonga. In the halves, Braith, Denham Anasta, and Brent Sherwood. And the front row, Mark O'Mealy, Adam Perry and Willie Mason. In the second row, Rennie Matua, Andrew Ryan, who was captain for the injured Steve Price, and Tony Grimaldi. On the bench, listen to this bench, Corey Hughes, Roy Asatasi, Sonny Bill Williams, Jonathan Thurston. That is the 2004 Doggies team. 2013 Chookies beat Manly 26-18. Finished as minor premiers with their record of 18 wins, 6 losses. Their lineup, fullback, Anthony Minicello. Wings, Daniel Tupou and Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. The centres, Michael Jennings, Sean Kenny Denham, Dow. Halves, James Maloney, Mitchell Pearce. Anyone getting confused with Denham, it's Wayne's last name. Front row, Jared Warrior Hargraves, Jake Friend and Sam Moa. Second row, this is the only guy to feature twice, doesn't even play rugby league anymore. Aidan Guerra, Sonny Bill Williams and Boyd Cordner. On the interchange, Frank Paul, Noor Sala, Mitch Orbison, Daniel Mortimer and Luke O'Donnell. The last team, 2017 Storm, beat the North Queensland Cowboys 34-6, finished as minor premiers with a record of 20 wins, 4 losses. Their team, fullback, Billy Slater. On the wing, Suliasi Vunivalu and Josh Adokar. And the centres, Will Chambers, Curtis Scott. In the halves, Cam Munster, Cooper Cronk. Front row, Jesse Bromwich, Cam Smith, Jordan McLean. Second row and lock, Felice Kafusi, Tohu Harris, Dale Finucane, and on the bench, Kenny Bromwich, Tim Glasby, Nelson Asafa Solomona, and Slade Griffin. Okay, guys, like I said, it was complex. So the 4 teams again: 1998 Broncos, 2004 Bulldogs, 2013 Chookies, and 2017 Melbourne Storm team. I'm going to start with Wayne again. Wayne, one has to go. Who goes?
Just one goes? No.
Yeah, one goes. So what I'll do, I'll go.
Stats too, mate.
What I'll do, I'll say, all of you guys have to say one's got to go, and then I do want to hear who you think was the best team out of the 4. So out of the 3 that are left, we'll pick who's the better one, in your own opinion.
I probably would say one to go, probably the 04 Doggies.
Wow.
I think it's just more bitterness for that decision, to be honest.
Oh, we got no bias here.
No bias?
No.
I'll probably still choose the Doggies.
Oh,
Why?
Wow,
Why?
this answer.
Why?
I don't know. I don't really have a reason why for it at the moment. We just choosing off the top of my head. I just said Doggies were the first thing to say. I like the Storm. I like their players and I respect them. The Chookies are my team.
So you are going biased.
A lot of bitterness here.
That's the reason. You said first choice. I chose first choice, and that was the first thing that team that came to my head was the Doggies.
Okay, Mitch March.
For me, it's a
one's
toss-up
got to go.
between the Bulldogs and the Roosters. And I'm probably going to sit with Wayne, actually. I think the Doggies. I think if you played them off against each other, the Roosters come out on top. Absolutely.
Mine is the 04 Bulldogs as well. I just think you put Sherwin against Cronk, Langer, Pearce, you wouldn't be able to match them. And Hughes at dummy against Cam, Friend, Walters, can't match them. So for me, the 2004 Bulldogs go, but they were a pretty good team.
Yeah, I'm going Doggies too. Toss up between the Roosters. Just pipped the Roosters. Just pipped them. Doggies for sure. I think when you stack the teams up next to each other, main positions, other teams are a bit stronger.
Yep. But, okay, here's a side question. Who has the better forward pack out of all of them?
Broncos for me.
Yeah, actually Broncos too. Even on their bench.
Broncos or Doggies?
Petra on the bench, it's just...
Yeah. But then remember on the Doggies they had Tarsi on the bench. He was New Zealand captain at one point. Sonny Bill Williams.
Yeah, I just...
If I was going on forward packs, I'd probably get rid of Chooks, to be honest.
Minus Sonny Bill. Yeah.
Yeah, Sonny Bill's been... He doesn't even play league anymore. He's in both those teams.
But I think he was definitely the difference.
For the Roosters?
Yeah.
Yeah, locker room.
Absolutely.
Locker room guy.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%.
Ultimate professional.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you look at that team, like you had one of the best fullbacks in the comp now in your wing.
Yeah,
Like-
check.
Yeah.
He came out of nowhere too.
Yeah.
Because I think we started the field that year off with Oldfield. I'm pretty
Really?
sure. And then he got the job because he was just terrible.
Yep.
And then Roger came in and absolutely killed it.
Yeah, especially that step on young Tom Robbia. That was so bad. How on earth you missed that tackle? So we're all saying the 2004 Bulldogs out of the top. So they're the top 4 teams in the last 20 years.
Gone.
And they're gone? Okay,
I'm
so
surprised you actually had them in there. I think
Oh, so
one of
the
the
closest...
2012, 2013 Manly side would have been in the mix.
So,
there.
yeah,
So
so
maybe
the-
not on win-loss record, but in terms of all-round ability.
Yeah, so the 2011 Manly side, the only reason they weren't on there was because they had the same record as the Chookies. And they weren't minor premiers. That's the only reason I put those 2013 Chookies. But there was a lot of good teams like...
Sharks team.
But that's I did make a note. The only reason Sharkies weren't in there is because their record was 17-6. You guys came third. You won it from third, which is cool. That's the only reason I didn't put those guys in as well. So I had to narrow everything down. So they were the 4 best teams. So with that being said, we've got the 98 Broncos left, 2013 Chookies, 2017 Storm. Who's the best? Broncos.
You got
Melbourne.
Yeah, it sounds biased, so I say, but I would still say Broncos and then Melbourne team.
Yep.
That Melbourne team last year was crazy good.
Balance the last 2 years. Just,
Yeah, so good.
Even when they got beaten by the Sharks. I still think they hands down had the best team in the comp.
Yeah,
2 years in a
we
row.
just didn't have a guy who could tackle Andrew Fafita. Christian Welsh, I'm calling you out, mate.
a lot of people can't tackle.
Yeah, I'm going 98 Broncos. Brisbane, Brendan, you're going
I'm going Broncos.
98 Broncos.
Yeah.
Wayno,
Yeah, I'm going Broncos too.
Mitchie, 17 Storm.
17 Storm.
Beautiful. That is the first part of One Gotta Go, so that was actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. This should be a little harder. So what I've done for the second part to make it easier for the guys, less reading for myself, I've done the spine edition. So gents, listen to these 4 names and one has to go. Keep in mind we're doing these guys in their prime at their position. So fullback, Billy Slater, Darren Lockyer, Anthony Minicello, Greg Inglis. One's got to go. Mitch March. Who goes for you, mate?
At fullback, Inglis goes. I think it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Inglis has spent too much time in between
The centres.
centres and
Yeah.
5'8" to really compete with the other 3.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wayno?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Greg Inglis too. No bias at that one. I just think that, he was... I reckon he played his best footy at centre. When he did come to Souths and played fullback, I feel that, he started doing well, but I just... Out of all those players, Greg Inglis, he cast out of them 4.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Before Brendan starts. He barely played centre. That's what I don't get.
Like the Storm.
No, he played 2 years. Full 2 years. And then he played the rest at 5'8". And then he played, 05, when Slater went down, suspended, he played. 06 he played half of the year at fullback, and then he went over to 5'8".
So
That's what I don't get.
a representative football, what position did he play?
Centre. Yeah, but I'm just saying, in his prime, he played most of it at fullback. It surprises people what he actually did. That's why I'm...
Legit.
Yeah. That's why I was torn. I mean, there's two that are untouchable for me, and then there's two that I had to toss up.
I'm picking Ingles as well.
Yep.
Pretty much because he's New South Welshman, but other than that, he's born
where's he from, Kempsey?
He's an hour from where I'm born, which is in New South Wales. Ingles for me. I think the same thing. They all played fullback the whole career, apart from Lockie. I wasn't the 5'8", but
he was good.
He's a future immortal in Ingles.
Yeah.
So
I'm going Minicello.
The kid can play, man.
Yeah, 100%. Before that injury, he was so good, but I just think when he came back, he just kind of lost his step. So I'm going Minicello. A lot of people are not very happy with me when I said that. Wayne is giving me the death stare.
Definitely hurt my feelings, mate.
I'm not even looking at him.
He's in the fetal position.
Yeah, he's in fetal position. So that's the fullback edition. So everyone said GI, I've said Minicello, and we'll move on to halfback. This is a tough one. You ready, gentlemen? Jonathan Thurston, Cooper Cronk, Alfie Langer, Andrew Johns. That's tough, eh?
Yeah, it's really
Say that again, sorry.
Alright, so Jonathan Thurston, Cooper Cronk, Alfie Langer, Joey Johns. One has to go. I'll say mine first because you guys look like you're going to be fetal soon.
I got mine.
I'm saying Jonathan Thurston at halfback. Cooper Cronk is right now is showing that he's a system halfback at the Chookies, but I just think JT's been carried a lot more than Cooper Cronk has. So I'm going to say Jonathan Thurston's got to go. That hurts because I called him the GOAT like 3 years ago, but now I'm all the way off Jonathan Thurston. Jonathan Thurston has to go for me.
Cronk for me.
Oh, don't do this.
Because when you put everyone in conversation,
Yep.
there are the three. There's conversation between immortals. Your Cronk, he's played with two of the best players ever as well.
Yeah, but he's still won a lot of individual stuff. That's what I get. He's won 2 Dally M's.
He did, but
two great players.
if I had to pick one to be not to be my halfback, I'd pick all three in front of him. To be honest, that's just
playground. So say you take it back to the playground, right? So you're playing basketball.
Yeah.
Say they're the halfback.
First
but
pick I'm picking is Johns, obviously.
Yeah. So you get rid of Johns, and then who would you go?
Second would be.
Well, say you line all 4 up. Who's the last you pick? It's Cooper Cronk.
Last I pick is Cronk.
Okay.
For me.
Yeah.
Because Thurston's got a bit of
Show and go.
brilliance and touch.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
Alfie Langer, you can't even have to say anything about him.
Yeah, so 2 are
And he
untouchable.
can party, and,
Yeah.
and Johns too.
Johns is more than enough party for everyone.
That's
Yeah,
it.
100%.
You still probably put us
He-
half of us under the same
I'm sure he still goes at it now. At his
I'd
tender
love to party
age.
with him. He's only now
At his tender age.
someone that has his number and get in contact with him.
Brendan
Someone
Blakey,
that wants
look
to
him up.
party with him.
Look him up. Wayno, one's got to go. Halfback.
I can't read in my words because I just chose Jonathan as the greatest of all time. I'm probably going to have to side with Cooper Cronk as well.
I was going to start calling you Cherry Evans.
I thought you were going to backflip for sure.
Mr. No Stat.
Wayne, no stat denim.
No, I have to choose Cooper Cronk. I think if you put it that way with the whole playground thing, because obviously the question has you torn. I think Cooper Cronk's one of the last person I would choose out of them 4, just to be on my team.
Yep, that's cool. Mitch.
By Alfie.
Oh, no! He was untouchable for me.
I think if you line them all up,
Playground
modern
style?
day football, Langer doesn't stack up.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I think you're talking cross generations. You've got a good 10 years basically between. They cross over very briefly, but the size of the players, the speed of the players, I think Alfie Langer backs out. I think Thurston's too creative to get rid of.
Yep.
And for mine, I'm like you guys. Cronk is second on my list if I'm picking someone. I love structured footy, and he does that for me. So if I'm not having Andrew Johns, I'm picking Cooper Cronk next.
Yeah.
So Alfie's
Alfie's
on my
gone.
bench. He's gone.
So the only safe one was Joey Johns, which I probably assumed anyway. So Joey Johns is the only safe one. We cool with our answers. Wayne, you still look like you're in fetal position, mate.
That's good questions, mate.
Pick your notes on.
Right, so that's halfback. So I've gone JT, Brendan and Wayne have gotten rid of Croc, and Mitch has gone Alfie. So Joey Johns is the only safe one. So the hooker one, I didn't stretch. They were still good, great players, but it may be a little easier. So for hooker, I've got Cam Smith, Danny Badiris, Steve Walters and Benny Elias.
No McGuinness.
Sorry, mate.
One Instagram.
Sorry,
What
mate.
do you...
Benny Elias just pipped him.
I haven't even heard of that bloke.
Benny Elias?
No, I'm joking.
Yeah, he's a bit of a partier, isn't he? I'm sure he still goes.
He owns a party boat.
Does he?
I'm pretty sure with his cousin or
He
something.
still goes. So for me, I'm going to Stevie Walters. I remember watching him in the early Broncos days. He was a beast. He was better than Kevy. So I'm going to say Benny Elias goes for me.
I'm going to go Benny Elias because I didn't watch much of him.
Yep.
And I've seen a bit of Walters' brothers and stuff play and stuff. So yeah, I'd have to go Benny Elias too.
Wayno?
I'm in the same boat. Both him and Walters. I don't really remember watching too much footy with both of them, to be honest. So I think I actually would go Benny Elias.
Does Benny Elias scrap into this 1998?
No, probably no, he doesn't. But
I think
he was the only hooker. Who else was going to put
I'd probably
Mick in it? Robbie
Walters
Farah?
out.
Who?
Walters.
Yeah.
I think Walters again off the back of a successful Broncos team
Yeah.
through to the late 80s and early 90s.
Yeah.
I don't really think Benny Elias had that for most of his career. So
No, he didn't. He had rubbish teams. So Stevie Walters and Benny Elias is going. Cam and Badiris, two great hookers, and
comfortably.
yeah, easily.
McKenna should have been up, but I'm pretty disappointed with that.
Sorry, mate. It was either him or Robbie Farrell, and I didn't go either.
Robbie Farah.
So what I've just added one in. It's not 4, it's 5 players. So everyone talks about the big 3. Queensland had a big 6. Billy Slater, Darren Lockyer, Jonathan Thurston, Cooper Cronk, Greg Inglis, Cam Smith. You got to get rid of one of them. Who goes?
I'll call Lockyer.
Oh,
If you had to pick a spine, I'd go Thurston and Cronk over Lockyer. Just from Thurston.
Slater at the back, obviously.
yeah. And
If you had to pick a big 5, obviously that's the spot where you're overlapping, so you're going to have to pick someone. I think Slater wins a fullback from both Lockyer and Inglis.
Yeah.
And
Actually,
I think Lockyer probably slides out for mine.
I'm going to agree. Yeah, based off what you just said, if I was to put a spine together,
It is hard to argue with that.
I was going to say JT, but we didn't really get to see Cronk and Lockyer play together because Thurston was always ahead of him. So I'm going to say Lockyer. You don't really need that leadership. Cam gives it to you. All you need is a bloke with a raspy voice and you're sweet. I'm going to say, Darren Lockyer. Out of that big 6, that Queensland era, Darren Lockyer goes for me.
Wayne, nice and quiet there, mate.
Oh, see, I was like, you listen to what you guys say. I was straight up back, nah, English, see ya.
Yeah, I thought the same.
But then when you guys say,
How many games has he won for Queensland like that?
He's helped out so much. He's so powerful out there, and there's no debating that. But when you say those names straight away, first name English. But then hearing what you guys say, like if you're putting a spine together, then I'd stick with English. I'd stick with my first name. First thing that came to my mind was English. I can't go past obviously Cam Smith was going to stay in there regardless.
So who would you drop? Okay, so you dropped English. Who would you drop in your halves then?
Out of them?
Yeah, out of those 3.
So Cronk,
JT and Lockyer. Who starts?
I'll probably put Lockyer and Thurston to start and drop Cronk.
So Cronk goes, okay. Which is what was happening in 2012, 2013.
Yeah.
He was coming off the bench. Brendan, you're quiet as, mate.
I was trying to go against everyone and pull up some stat out of my head, but I can't do it. So I'm going to take
your
Lockyer
phone away,
out.
mate. That's it.
I haven't touched it, mate.
Lockyer.
I have to take Lockyer out. What he said is I can't say anything against it.
Well, yeah,
Can't
Mitch
argue
put
against
it. I was going to go like GI or Thurston, but then when Mitch said that, I was like, that's a good point.
It's too dominant.
Take over the podcast, Mitch.
Dropping it
It's
like, damn,
I'll be back next week.
So all of us are going Lockyer except Wayno's going GI.
Yeah, I'll stick with GI.
So the other 3, so the big 3 are untouchable and JT. Big course. That wraps it up for one got to go. A lot of pressure, a lot of fetal positions has been acquired, but we'll move on. So finally we've got roundup. So what I've done, I've asked the lads to pick an Australian 17 side that would play at the end of the year based on current form. So obviously Origin finishes this Wednesday, and then we can kind of make an Australian team. So I've asked the lads to put together their top 17, just remembering allegiances. So Fafita obviously cannot be picked, and the sides that they play, so left side, right side, things like that. So first we'll start with Big Brendan Burbo. Who is your 17?
We'll go Teddy Tedesco.
Yep.
On the wing we got Holmes, centre Ingles and Latrell. On the other wing we got Adakar. We got Monster Maloney in the halves. Clemmer at prop. Cook at hooker. Then I got DeBellin, Cordner and Frizzell. And Maguire at lock. And then my bench, I picked Ponga, Jake Trbojevic, I've got Paul Vaughan, and then I put in Kafusi as my last bench spot.
Good. I'll roll with my team. So fullback, I've got same Teddy on the wings, Valentine Holmes and Dan Gagai. In the centres, the only reason I haven't gone to Charles because he's left side, so I've gone GI on the left and Chambers on the right. Halves, I've gone New South Wales, James Maloney, Nathan Cleary. Front row, all New South Wales, David Clemmer, Damien Cook and RCG. Captain, Boyd Cordner. In the second row, so I've got Matt Gillett. If he's fit, I still think he's probably the second best second rower, but if he's not, I'd probably start Felice Kafusi. And then Josh Maguire at lock. Interchange, Kalen Ponga, Jake Trbojevic, Jack DeBellin and Tyson Frizzell. Big Mitch, who's your 17 and why?
Alright, I'm assuming that Slater is still available until the end of this year.
Okay.
I have him at
I didn't even
fullback,
think about that.
and I have him captain as a bit of a swan song for him.
Yep.
I'm going with Holmes and Dan Gagai on the wing.
Yep.
Chambers and one centre and Latrell Mitchell in the other. This is obviously basing on off the fact that now with obviously the injuries and who's available.
GI, yeah.
I'm partnering up Munster at 5'8" with Maloney at half. My front rowers are Jake Trbojevic and David Clemmer.
Yep.
With Damien Cook to get his crack at the 9 for Australia. I've got Frizzell and Cordner on the edges with Jack DeBellin at lock. Now I've gone with Ponga out, Hunt at 14 on the bench.
Yep.
With Maguire, Arrow and Kafusi filling out the forwards.
So you got it all Queensland.
A little bit of a mix. Starting forwards all New South Wales, but I think the rest of the Queenslanders slide in. I think out of the backs for me, Latrell Mitchell's the only one out of the 4. I mean, apart from Tom Trbojevic, but I don't think he's a first choice winger.
No, it sucks though because
James
he's a
Roberts
great fullback.
Has been a bit quiet, and I think Holmes and Gagai are more solid and more reliable on the wing than Addo-Carr
and Foxy. Yeah, Fox will get his turn though. Like I like.
Absolutely.
Brendan picked him. I like that. He'll get his turn. And it sucks for Tom because he's a great fullback. He's just going to just wait.
It's just too much of a log of quality players.
Val's a great wing, better winger than he is a fullback.
Oh, 100%. We don't bring that topic up. Argue fouls about that.
Big Wayno, who's your 17?
He's been writing down forever.
Yeah, he's been
so
the last 12 minutes.
How many times he's changed his
Good stuff here. Alright, so my Australian team, so start with Teddy, Val Holmes and Josh Addo-Carr on the wings. I have Inglis and Latrell in the centres. I have Munster and Maloney in the halves. I've also got Clemmer, Cook and Gerbo in the front row. Cordner, Frizzell and Maguire to round that up in the second row and lock. The interchange, I've got Kalen Ponga as well. I think he's going to come out and fire.
Yeah.
Arrow, Felice Kafusi and Jack DeBellin.
Yeah, that's good. I think who were the unanimous there? Boydie as captain. Boyd will be
I
captain.
think we all said Munster and Maloney, which was a bit of a shock to me actually.
I went Cleary, but now that I think about it,
For a little while I was thinking Cleary too.
I'm just thinking they won Origin together. They might as well play together.
Yeah, did change it.
I know in the World Cup last year, Munster played in centre for most of it. But
Yeah, that's
he
what
was
sucked.
untouchable. I think at that level, you can afford to give him a run at the 6.
Yeah.
It's no one else's.
He's turned into a great 6 too, which is scary. He's playing really good for Melbourne and he's playing good for Queensland, but Queensland just suck in general. So
I think it's actually created a headache for Melbourne. I think Melbourne's progression was waiting for Slater to retire and push Munster to fullback.
Yeah, but now he's turned
his
into
form at 5'8" has
really good.
put a spanner in the works.
Yeah.
So instead of having Riley Jacks and Brodie Croft in the halves, they're going to have to pick one.
Yeah. And Jerome Hughes now, who's playing really well. But any surprises? There should be any surprises. I mean, Addo-Carr over Dan Gagai, I wouldn't complain. The only reason I win is I assume Gagai probably get there because he's an incumbent. Yeah, but I see nothing wrong with Foxy in the wing.
Good player.
He's playing really well for New South Wales.
Yeah, he's coming out and fight.
Yeah, James Roberts is not doing enough, like what Mitch said.
Passenger.
Yeah, Latrell was having a dig.
Yeah.
I think hindsight for New South Wales, Ewan Aiken would have been a better pick than James Roberts.
Jimmy, yeah, 100%. He's fiery too. He's fiery, yes.
First half, he just
Jimmy Jet
yeah.
in game 2 or
yeah. And then it looked like he just. My mate, when I was watching it with him, was just he looks like the guy who tries 120% all the time, but just can't do anything.
Yeah, 100%.
And then he goes and gets like sin binned, and just I don't know.
What was it? He took a runner out.
Yeah.
That was dumb.
He was Cooper, then he took out.
Yeah.
Cooper.
It wasn't as bad as Ben Hunt's one. Oh, Ben Hunt. So you had Ben Hunt on the bench, eh?
Yep. Only with Ponga not available.
Yeah, so say if Ponga is available, you pick Ponga?
Yep, and I would go Ben Hunt over Tyrone Peachy as a utility.
Yeah, I'm kind of... On that subject, what's going on with... Are they going to play him more minutes or Peachy? Kind of
I don't think we need to.
Yeah, you just don't.
I think we've got more than enough minutes on our bench and in our starting pack to have him there as a backup.
And the funny thing is, Queensland's fact is they're fatigued after 10. Napa can't keep up. Wallace can't keep up. The back row goes good. Maguire's got an engine on him.
Yeah, same as
Kafusi. And then you look at like DeBellin's going hard the whole time. Chaboyevich, Clemmer.
Another party at DeBellin too. I want to.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What about his interview after game 2? He was blazed.
Going off. He was happy. Very happy.
So that's our roundup question. So the boys have picked their 17 for Australia. So that is all the topics that we wanted to go over. Gentlemen, any final words for anything regarding NRL?
Jack DeBellin first try scorer on Wednesday.
Oh yeah. Oh here we go. Quick tips. No, that's good. Jack DeBellin first scorer.
Inside information, or just wrong with that one?
No, just
Any insider trading, mate.
Having a
He
go.
would be paying pretty well too, eh?
Yeah, he'd be up in the 50s, I think.
There's the hot tip. Jack DeBellin first try scorer.
Slater, anytime try scorer. Might as well put him down for one.
Yeah. Maybe Val and Gagai. I'd say they spread it out wide.
Val to kick him.
Oh no, Gagai's on
one
the
goal at least.
Gagai's in the centre.
Gagai's in the centre. You went to score in the
Corey
centre.
surely he's going to get. Is he? Yeah, Corey surely will go over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put him in there. Same game multi anytime. Corey Oates.
Jack DeBellin. That's the hot tip from Mitch March. Jack DeBellin.
Oh, lit it.
First try scorer.
Really
Anything
house
else? Anything else on the rest of the season, gents?
Sharkies are going to start hitting straps soon.
They are hitting the straps. They're on fire, mate.
Especially when Jared Hayne finally goes over there.
Oh, well, bring him on.
Are you serious?
No.
I was going to say, do not take that cancer
No.
on your side.
We already took Woodsy. We don't need another one.
You know what, man?
He could do
I don't know. Mitch may agree with me. I think he's going to do well with you
He's going
guys.
to kill it for us.
Yep, absolutely.
Would he?
The way he plays.
No, just the way Flanagan is compared to old Pay and the Doggies.
But what they want him to do with the Bulldogs is completely different to what we're going to want him to do with the Sharks, though.
Just do what he did at the Tigers. Just march up and just get good offloads. That's all you need him to
but
do.
that's the football we play too.
Yeah, that's what I
Fifita's
mean.
exactly similar.
Yeah.
I think, he's... the thing is, for me, I rate Pryor and Fifita above him. So I don't want
Tim to start.
Pryor to go or whatever. I want them to both be in that side still.
And then have him off the bench.
Which is going to be difficult to... I don't know.
Money-wise,
eh? But Pryor,
they could...
Pryor
Remember
and Fifita got Player of the Year when we won the comp. So,
Yeah.
And I rate Pryor as one of the best forwards.
Remember in 2012 and 2013, the Doggies were doing that. They had 3 really good props, Tolman, Cassiano, Graham. So if Woods is happy to come off the bench...
You think of it like next year, for example, where would you put Woods in the squad if you have to start him? You're not going to start him at prop. Would you put him at lock? Take over Gallon?
Not mobile enough.
What would you do? You can't have that kind of player on the bench.
That money, I guess.
All
It's
that
the money.
just sitting there. Where would you put him?
Probably have to play him at lock. Because you're not going to take Wade out of the second row.
Oh, Luke Lewis. Is he resigned?
If he retired, nah.
He's too slow to
Pryor
be.
can play
Pryor can play second row. And then put Woodsy in the front.
Yeah, you could, I suppose. He's more versatile, but I don't know.
I think Pryor's the natural slider to the bench. I think if Woods can find his 2015 Tigers form, 80-minute front rower, he starts all day.
Yeah. Well, that's what Brendan was saying. I think the Doggies tried to give him too much, too quick, too soon. I think if he just plays his natural game at the Sharks, which he probably will with Flanagan, I think you guys will be fine. I don't think it was a bad buy. I know you're fetal. I know you're fetal over it, but I don't think it's that as bad as what it sounds.
I thought we could have spent our money elsewhere because I thought we had young forwards.
Well, you're not paying from this year yet, eh? So you pick his contract up next year.
Next year,
yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like we have a good team. We do have a good team, but it's just
What's the salary cap?
Mr.
What's
What's the salary
Doesn't
cap?
apply to the rest.
I was going to say.
What's the salary cap? Where's the sombrero?
Mr. Brown paper bag right here. It's a few boats.
Quickly, we'll wrap up, but any final predictions for the season?
I think the Dragons hold tight for one.
And win it?
I think after
I don't think they will.
Origin, I think they
want
settle
them
back
to
down again.
I have a feeling they're
I hope
not.
they choke.
About 4 weeks ago, we did a pod and I picked them to win it, but they're just falling apart for me. And I can see
I hope
Penrith or South taking it out.
I still think Souths take it out.
Souths and Penrith.
I reckon Ben Hunt is going to choke again, coming to those big games in the finals.
Yeah.
I think they will too. Dragons.
I can see Souths or Penrith. I know there's the big names like Melbourne, Cronulla, Chuggies, but I just don't feel it's any of their year this year. I mean, we'll do well. We'll probably finish top 6, but
Maloney going to another club and takes them to another grand final. That's unbelievable.
I think it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
I think once the Origin hangover and Cleary start firing again,
Yeah.
and Maloney will pick his game up a bit more. And
So we're saying the teams to watch are Penrith and Souths?
Yeah.
Not the Warriors. The Warriors are
Woeful.
they're 8th.
Let's go on, Warriors.
Let's go on, Warriors. Just for all our Warriors supporters in our Supercoach League.
Alright, so we got
Unlucky boys. So that's today's podcast. I just want to thank the boys for coming on. Appreciate you guys coming on.
Cheers.
Brendan and Mitch for preparing and Wayne for not preparing.
What's a stat?
Well, what is this?
Mr. Six Man over here back on the bench next week.
Wayne's done, mate. Mitchy March, and welcome back next week, Brendan. Also, Wayne, just pick up your stats, mate, and you'll get an invite back.
We'll call you.
We'll call you. Don't call us. We'll call you. But thanks to the guys for coming on. Enjoy the Origin game on Wednesday, and remember to keep up for the next podcast. Thanks, guys.